They done messed up now. Should have never gave these boys a podcast. Whoa. This is Off the Rim. With your boy, Coach Skinny, Coach Drayton, and Coach Drayton. I'm up. There go the Dominican. What up, SimWorld? Sit back, relax. Let us take you through the mind of a coach.
SimWorld, what up, though? Coach Skinny and Coach Reese couldn't be here with me today, but the show must go on. And I figured, speaking of the show going on, there's no better team to talk about right now than ShowTime. ShowTime has I wouldn't call them issues, but three select problems that I feel like if they could properly address, then they would be a completely different team. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dive into that. First thing, Showtime has to improve defensively. They rank 23rd in points allowed per game, 18th in opponent field goal per game, and they they not really getting blocks and steals like that. Bottom percentile and all of that. So I think the first way to improve that would be to talk about the elephant in the room, and that would be a slight lineup change. I feel like Schizo Takani showed that he could definitely be an impact or a force at the one. A willing passer. He's not a dynamic scorer. Won't call him that, but a willing passer who can be gritty and get all those dirty plays. Make the plays that not everybody else is really willing to make. Because as it currently stands, their defense seems to be an Achilles heel. We do know for a fact that Cole Webb can light it up. We know for a fact that if Bryce James is given an open three, he could light it up. But in order for those points to matter and those possessions to happen, the stops on defense have to happen. And I'm not saying that their front court is weak. It's not necessarily the strongest. So you have to limit the amount of point of attack that happens by slowing down primary ball handlers. So you put Schizo at the one, you keep Cole Webb at the two, you move Bryce James to the three. I'll bring in Sol Evans at the four and Romine at the five. Now, this lineup doesn't necessarily fix all the defensive issues, but I do feel like it gives them their best shot at starting a versatile attack of offenses. The second thing on the agenda would be that currently Bryce James is not the secondary option. Israel Vines is not the secondary option. Showtime seems to live and die by Cole Webb, and there's some people who believe that in prep basketball, that's really all you need, a primary scorer, and for somebody to stack the pat the stat sheet. I'm more of team orientated, so I would want to have multiple people as options. But if it's me, in the first unit, the two people that I would feed is you got to go Cole Webb. That's why you brought him in all the way from Australia. And then I probably go Bryce James. But the hot hand off the bench to me would probably be Jarius Bradley. I mean, if you've watched him in open runs and even some of the games during this season, he lights it up when he gets the chance. He's efficient. I would say that he has all the offensive tools in his bag. His game really reminds me of Jason Tatum when he first got to the league. Could get to the could get to the cup with relative ease. Mid range game is strong. Could post up the defenders. Can even hit the three when he needs to. At 6'5", 178, you could put him at shooting guard, at small forward. I probably wouldn't put him at point or power forward, even though like some people view him as a post shot creator. I think he's one of those like true 3 level scorers that he can get it anywhere and everywhere if he needed to. Now, if Coach Joyner isn't necessarily a fan of Jarius Bradley, then the other option I would say would be Israel Vines. Now, Israel Vines is somebody last year who kind of did it all offensively. Another like one of those 3 level scorers that could kind of carve out their own identity. But I feel like Showtime's better, not better necessarily meaning that they're better than Cole Webb, but their better scores are often off the bench and they're not seeing enough time. Point number 3 is Showtime has to create a concrete identity. Now, last year you could say that their concrete identity was Bronny James and Corey Ames. Corey Ames defended the paint. He was nasty. He's gonna make sure that nobody got in there without feeling his presence. And Bronny kind of speaks for himself. Player of the year. He kind of went and dunked and shot threes and step backs on everybody whenever he felt like it. And the only way to really stop him was to make sure you stop everybody else. Now you can argue that Showtime's kind of doing the same thing this season, but without Corey Ames and Cole Webb not necessarily being the offensive juggernaut that Bronny was, is why you're seeing a slight hitch in how they play. Now their identity can be rebranded as more of a team orientated attack. You can spell Bryce James, put Cole Webb at the point, put Bryce James at the 2, bring Bradley in at the 3 or Vines in at the 3, and try and have those guys create along in the first unit. I think they have a litany of offensive weapons that can be something. Wilson Hayes can be something. Chisholm, if used in a more unique way, could be something. I think that this team has all the bones to be competitive. But that's my view on it. What y'all got for me? And remember, SimWorld, the only place where you can see the game and be the game. We out.